Hi, I'm George Jones, and this is I Have a Theorem on Math. Today, there's going to be a very popular, very old mathematician, Hypatia. So how was your flight here?
It was alright. I took about a 2-hour nap and then woke up to a guy next to me snoring and then a little girl kicking my seat. Could have been better. It was alright, but it could have been better.
That must have been pretty tiresome. I think you should have had first class since you're so famous and old.
First of all, how rude. I'm not even that old. But yes, that would have been a lot better. Now I'm sore. I can barely sit.
I'm sorry. I hope you start feeling better, and I'm sorry. I was just kidding.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to care.
So, if it's okay, can we start on the questions?
Yes, that would be fine with me.
Okay, so to start off, what was your childhood like?
I was born in Alexandria, Egypt around 350 AD in March. I would go to museums to listen to my father speak with scholars about mathematics, science, and other subjects too, instead of staying home with relatives. I had more freedom than many girls at my age. Actually, one of the elders was my friend, the museum keeper and librarian. He was very sweet and kind. Have you ever been to Alexandria, Egypt?
Nope, but I've been to Maine.
Well, that's not Alexandria, Egypt. I don't even think it's by Egypt.
Oh well, I don't know. Well, for the next question, did you have a mother?
Actually, I just lived with my father. He took care of me.
Okay, so that question is sort of like the one I'm about to ask. What was your family like?
My father was Theon of Alexandria. He was the one who I lived with. He wanted me to be physically and mentally healthy. He taught me mathematics and how to be an influential speaker. He was a scholar. A scholar is someone who wants to learn. I had a very close relationship with a family friend named Epiphanes. I never knew my mother, like I said, I just grew up with my father. My father told me that he wanted to raise a perfect human, which was supposed to be me.
Your father really expects a lot from you. I would be overwhelmed if my father put that much pressure on me.
It wasn't that it was overwhelming, it was just that it was a little pressure. But if it weren't for that pressure, then I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I greatly appreciate it.
Now, for the big question, what were you known for and what did you do for the math world?
Wow, that is a good question. I was known for being the greatest mathematician of my time. I also proved that women can have just as smart ideas as men can. I wrote books about astronomy, number theory, and geometry. I was also known on ideas of conic sections by Apollonius, which divided cones into parts of a plane. Apollonius is a Greek mathematician who made terms on hyperbola, parabola, and ellipse.
Now that's very interesting. You were very smart. I could never be that smart.
Thank you, that's very nice. But that's not all I have made. I made an astrolabe which helps with ship navigation.
What was your education like?
My father taught me mathematics, science, philosophy, and art. I was one of the first girls to study math and science. Actually, speaking of education, I was a teacher of mathematics and astronomy and long division. My father was a mathematician who, as you know, taught me many subjects such as schools do. I also helped my father improve textbooks. We added geometry, algebra, and astronomy. Our family friend was a tutor or like a teacher to me.
Wow, I think it's so cool that your father is a mathematician and must run in the family.
Yes, it is true. He taught me to be a mathematician. He's the reason I'm a mathematician.
You really appreciate your father. I wish everybody appreciated their parents like you do.
People think that parents are just being mean, but they're really just helping you out in life.
Okay, so back to the question. What were a few of your accomplishments?
I learned how to be a scholar, just like my father. I would help my father research. I was the one who found out that the Earth orbits in a certain pattern around the sun. I became a well-known teacher of mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. I actually inspired Cineas of Cyrene, who soon after became a bishop.
I'm sure you inspired more though, right?
I'm sure I did, or at least I hope so.
Well, I just want to say something before we end our show. I have a theorem on math. Now that your life was very interesting and what you did for the math world was wonderful. Now, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Yes, and I just want to say thank you for having me here today. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. This is what I want to say. Reserve your right to think, for even to think wrongly is better than not to think at all.
Well, there your answer. answer, folks. Join us on our next episode. I have a theory on math. Today, there will be joined by William Jones.